Black and white thinking. When I taught English, there's a logical fallacy that's called black and white thinking. And it basically means that the person employing this fallacy has decided if things aren't one way, then they're an opposite way. So, for example, a person with black and white thinking would think if it's not sunny, it's raining. Now, when we look at the weather, it's obvious that those are not the only two choices. It could be cloudy. It could be snowing so that you can't really see the sun and you wouldn't consider it sunny sometimes when it's snowing because of the way it looks outside. It could be windy. It could be cold. And I could keep going because there are many possibilities when it comes to the weather. There are not just two. So sometimes when I look on social media, I see a post and it's an example of black and white thinking. So I saw a post today and it was in a singles group, and it said, "Ladies, how is life without a good man?" Now, life it encompasses the totality of our experience. We are living life. And being single does not mean that a woman has no access to good men in her life. That is a fallacy. So you're basically, this person posting, or the person who created the meme, is assuming that the only way a woman would have access to a good man is to be taken or committed to that good man. And that literally makes no sense, because many of us, before we were of the age to have a romantic relationship, we had good men in our lives. We might have had fathers, grandfathers, uncles, cousins. We might have had teachers. We might have had mentors and coaches. We might have had neighbors. When we got a little bit older, into our teens, we might have had coworkers. All of these could be good men who are a part of our life. And being single, sometimes, at least in my life and in the lives of some other women I know, didn't decrease our accessibility to good men. It increased it, because we went from being in a committed relationship with one person who turned out to have issues that led to that demise of the relationship, or that person left us, or however it ended, right? And now we are able to interact with however many men we decide to interact with, however many men cross our path, however many men we find interesting. And some percentage of those men are most likely good men. So assuming that a single woman has no good men in her life is an assumption. It's not a fact. And I actually think that it would be helpful to people who post things like this to realize that there's more than two choices. There's more than, if it's not sunny, it's rainy. If she's not single, she has no access. If she's single, she has no access to good men. That's not how life works for many people. For some, it may work that way. And for others, it may work in a completely opposite way. So I think that this is why we have such a disconnect with some men not understanding why some women choose to be single. Because if that woman is in a position where she actually has more access to good men and is able to fully enjoy having platonic male friends that she hangs out with, romantic suitors that may be pursuing her, and she doesn't have to curtail her interest to one person, she may like that a lot better than being committed and tied to one man. So this audio was just to kind of get people thinking about possibilities. I talk about possibilities a lot. I talk about perspective a lot. I talk about expanding your mindset and your horizons and realizing there are more options. I will say this again, and I've said it before. One of the most powerful lessons that my mentor taught me is to stop thinking either or and think both and. Because either or sets you up for a choice where you only have one option. And in life, a lot of times it's not either or. It can often be both and. But if you've never even considered that both and is an option, then you're just limiting yourself. You're limiting yourself. I'm going to say that again. You're limiting yourself to the first thing that pops in your mind, which is one choice or another choice. And sometimes it's good to think, could there be more?